Morning.
Morning.
You know, when you ask elderly people to record the house, definitely 15 minutes, half an hour is not enough. And that was why the organizing usually go very well. The whole time I ask people to speak on, because I can go on and on and on. But however, there's the other side. When you grow old, you forget things. So, after that, yeah, we say 40 years, 50 years, but when I started it was 40 years ago. So very briefly, what I recall, I don't know. I came back in 1973 after I used some modern language on new evangelization and countering the protocols. And you remember, I quote two things from Pope Francis. Pope Francis said, some Christians have the face of someone who just returned from a funeral. And then at another occasion, he told the sisters, or those sisters, said, please don't wear smiles of the air hostess. So when I was recording, before 1970, before I made my final vows, I made 1 month retreat. And before that, I can say, I used to go around with the face of one just returned from the funeral, and sometimes wearing the smile of air hostess. But in 70, when I made the first month of a First Nation month in preparation for my retreat, I encountered the Lord. That's when I came to know our Father. And that's the time when I was burned with zeal. The verse from the scriptures that struck me, remain always with you. Jesus, before he went back to heaven at the Last Supper, he told the Father, I have made you known, and I will continue to make you known. And that was my sentiment. I felt the zeal to make Jesus known. And then I reflected, it's in line with Maclean's also, make Jesus known. So I came back. However, that was not enough. If you recall the story of Lazarus, Jesus gave him back life, but he couldn't move because tied with burial cloth. And Jesus had to tell someone to untie him. Then he was free to live again and move. So for that year, after the English month, I was actually being tied. I still have some more burial cloth that tied me. And it was during that retreat, empowered by the Spirit and the Word of God, that I felt the act of fly. So I came back in 73, filled with zeal to make Jesus known. And I remember Maclean says that we need hands and feet to reach out to people whom the sisters will never be able to answer all their needs. So somehow or rather the Lord somehow prepared me people. And my ex-students would come back, and I started the Sunday sharing group with them to make known Jesus, to evangelize them so that they could also become evangelizers. That's how we started. Started with the Sunday's gospel sharing, then prayer was also necessary, so I began also the Saturday prayer group. And that went on, and the Lord added the number to our group. Now I tell you some of the activities that gel this group, that more or less form the fellowship. So every year we would have to call the friendship camp. Actually, it's a retreat camp, where they grow also in the knowledge of the Lord, encounter the Lord in a more personal way. And at the same time, while they are helping themselves, they were also helping the friends who were seeking. After 1 year and then of course we were lucky. During those days, sisters also had a lot of opportunities with preachers from Philippines, India, all these with psycho-spiritual retreats. And each time we were happy to get 2-3 days, 2-3 evenings, or a weekend. And so the group also had this opportunity. So they grow also in the knowledge of the Lord. After more than 1 year, I felt that it's time to propose to them whether they would like to associate themselves more officially with the Canossian family. As Teresa said, our co-workers actually existed before all this. But during that time, the official group was not very known, not even in Italy. I remember there's a group here in Singapore, but I also didn't know who they were because it's just a small group, and even in Italy. So at institute level, it was not known. But somehow here, I proposed to them, and the first group of them were enrolled officially as Canossian. Well, the name we chose originally was Collaborator, translated from Italian. But one of them, ex-principal, Mrs. Leong, she don't use the name Collaborator because it reminds her of the Japanese collaborators. So that's how we were known as co-workers. So this went on year by year, and some of them got married. Romance also bloomed in our group because someone managed to bring in the male member. And don't forget, this is during the years 70 to 75. Men are not allowed in the convent, not even in the chapel. And so we have the married group. Now, the group has matured, and for me, they are not formed to be tied with the Canossians. They are to work with the Canossians, especially in places where the sisters cannot reach. So the challenge was thrown to them to go into parishes. And those days, Singapore parishes were not so animated as now. In fact, when I first had the group, everybody thought that as usual, the sisters had grouped the vocation promotion. So when my first couple got married, we publicized on the CN, Catholic News. We tell them this is not a vocation promotion group. No doubt within the group we happen to discern also their vocation. So that is how I started the conversion. Now remember, I know this? The lay conversion. That's I can all mix up because here is always promotion code. And of course it has developed. Then after 10 years, I felt good occasion to refresh, rejuvenate. So I asked permission to have this. Actually, in my mind was only get the Singapore and Australia English speaking, Australasia meet. But it took so long time to get permission from Rome, and I wondered why. When I asked the provincials, they don't know. Because it was something new. Because everything should come from Rome now. Imagine from this week dot, somebody wanted to organize. However, later I thought is that they felt it's a good initiative because when I got the permission, I was surprised. They sent people from the States, from Italy. And I got a bit worried when I saw them. They were very gigantic. And they were housed in my Canossian children's home, sleeping on children's bed. Now I can't remember any bed broken up. But anyway, it turned out to be a very good occasion. We have to shift from place to place. We got permission from the Canossa convent to use the hall for meals, and then we chartered a bus at night to bring them to St. Anthony's convent in Middle Road for talks. And I remember his father Franz the reader, because as I say, in 1975, those years is not so established for laity. So that's how the 10th anniversary went. And after that, the year after, Rome took up the idea. And that's how all the international meet started. 15 minutes back? Not yet. Oh, that is more likely to occupy the next 5 minutes. Anyway, this is a brief summary of how the Lay Canossian Association started. After that, I went abroad also, so I didn't follow up the development. And when I came back, of course, I said blue shirt, no red shirt. So many groups. But that's the idea of Magdalene. That's the idea of Magdalene. Right from the start, she felt sisters, even though we may be many in number, because she was in Italy. Italy is a Catholic country. And Catholic countries, they have villages, all Catholics. So therefore, we cannot possibly have enough sisters to send sisters to all the villages. So right from the start, she already realized that we need the collaboration of the laity. And she said, they are supposed to be our hands and feet, especially in places where we cannot go. You are supposed to go, not to hang around the sisters. So, lay Canossians are to work with the sisters, not necessarily for the sisters. Of course, you can work for sisters also. It's all right, but we would prefer that we can reach out where we cannot reach. Spread the good news, because the main mission of Jesus and also of Magdalene is actually this. The main content of the gospel of Jesus actually to make known the Father. To make known the Father. If you look carefully at the gospel, the central figure seems to be Jesus, but the central content of his teaching is always on the Father, telling them how God is love. And so that's why Magdalene said, people sin because they do not know Jesus' love. It's not because they are wicked, it's because they have not experienced love, that's why they sin. And so therefore, we have to make known Jesus. And the same with the verse from St. John. I have made your name known to this group of men with me, but I will still continue to make your name known through them. So we can do a lot of work. Ministries are always a means to make Jesus known. Okay?
Thank you very, very much, Sister Margaret. Yes, I was one of the initial groups, and after this we'll have a sharing by Marcus and Editha. I do remember the conference at the time. We were